Welcome back to Let's Play Spongebob Atlantis Squarepantis for the Game Boy this time. So we're going to control Mr. Krabs today, apparently. I actually don't quite remember what context we were in. I think we're, quote-unquote, singing on the trip to Atlantis. Stop the falling coins. So we're actually going to control Mr. Krabs this time. We're not trying to hit Mr. Krabs. This is very different. Instead of leading the money to Mr. Krabs, we're going to lead Mr. Krabs to the money this time. This is a new perspective on this minigame. Launch a bubble. The coins with bubbles. Change their type. Okay, apparently bubbles can do that. And don't hit the golds then. And you also want to keep hitting the same kind of coin. Plant into the bubbles. Okay. Wait a minute. Why are we not in like this big like Strawberry Fields Forever type of thing? We're not supposed to be in. Atlantis yet. My gold. So I guess I might as well just try to get only gold though. So the worthless coins are plankton coins apparently. I thought that was actually going to be plankton. I guess we'll have to see plankton and defeat him at a later point or something like that. Okay, they're not getting too tough so far. Although, this means it's not going to get harder later. I do recall that other minigame, the rhythm minigame, that got surprisingly difficult, mostly just because the buttons weren't mapped very well. Here are some different coins at different speeds. It's actually kind of helpful. So we're doing a little bit of juggling now. Oh, thanks, Plankton. Oh, Plankton, you jerk. That was actually kind of helpful for a moment there. Got it. Darn it! I didn't think I was going to be able to get all those anyways, but even so, bah. Actually, it would have been better off if I managed hit Plankton just then, I think, than trying to get all the coins, but whatever. It takes a moment to shoot a bubble, too. Alright. Got a little bit of a rhythm going again, though. Man, the game's pretty generous with letting you let them fall pretty low, actually, before you pick them up. Come on. Come on, Plankton. Yeah, you have to hit Plankton a lot of times, I guess, to defeat him. Kind of started ignoring everything else in favor of that, which is not the most effective way of handling things. Also, can this end yet? Jeez. I don't want... I guess I'm doing too good a job at this, because... Okay, see, there's time for letting coins fall, which I'm kind of okay with, because I'm getting a little tired of this. Oh. Yeah, I can just hit the coins again. Yeah. So you can just hit the coins again to let them turn into battle coins. That didn't work very well. Whatever. Only A, man. Why does it take for an S in this thing? I don't really care to keep trying or anything, but wow. Great singing. Yep, that was singing. Yeah, we do. What a surprise. Oh, do you actually have a new minigame? Maybe not. Not really lost. It's just kind of like, I don't really know why people don't know where Atlantis is now I think about it. Like, it's still like a functioning society. Thanks for letting me know. I hadn't quite figured that out. Oh, hey. Tutorials again. Okay. So, there are a few things to talk about, actually. One, Well, I guess I'll talk about the more relevant to this game first, but... Oh, that's not what I was trying to do! Hey. Oh, Spongebob. Well, I still want to see this. This is interesting. Can I do it in midair? No. Anyways, so one thing I apparently missed. I was kind of in a rush to start this game when I finished up Atlantis Squarepantis for the DS. I might show a couple things I forgot there, because for one, I didn't show off the little relics we got or anything. But then on top of that, apparently Scooter's actually unlocked as a playable character after you beat the game, which the game doesn't tell you, which is a little questionable. But it'd be a good idea to take another look, I think, just to see what Scooter's like. I could probably make a single 50-minute video out of it. I don't know why I'd record that, but it's something I should probably do at some point. Sandy likes to use Spongebob as her own special sponge shield. Does she? Thanks for letting me know. We're learning things about Sandy every day, just like we learned how Mr. Krabs likes money. We never knew that. But Spongebob's like the softest thing out of all the characters that were available to play as. Why is he on we're using for this? Interesting. You also can't move while you're doing this. I'm completely motionless for some reason. And then you can move forwards. You can also just tap the button, I guess. That might be interesting to look at, playing as Squidward at a later point. Oh, see what they can do. Interesting. If I remember right, Spongebob and Patrick can also... no, it wasn't Spongebob and Patrick. They won't do anything right now for some reason. But, what was it? So it's when we unlock Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs had an interesting inventory attack. Yeah, so they can do this. Doesn't work there for some reason. But here we can do this. That's not what we need to do right now. What I want now is this. Is the game not going to tell me what I'm supposed to be doing here? Okay. I mean, I managed to figure it out, I think. Yeah, I did. Okay, well, thanks for letting me know about that game. Figure things out yourself, I guess. Yeah, that was interesting. Crabacopter. Which I could only imagine also lets you attack enemies. With other thing, this is more general Spongebob game-related news types of stuff, but... So recently somebody mentioned something about certain games being remade in the comments of, I don't remember what game I was even, or what video the comment was even on, but it sounded peculiar to me, so I looked at the THQ website, and turns out, in fact, they did apparently renew some kind of contract, or get some kind of new contract to release a few games that had been released before. I'm not quite sure if it's actually, like, remastering games, or remaking them, or what. Also, why do you have so little health? Oh, wait, never mind, I have max health, it's just the multiple health bars thing. Oh, well, there's the bubble. We made it, I guess. Need tutorial? Okay. Need tutorial? No. I said no, please. I guess just roll select. Just numbers, not names. I've already been burned by that before, though. I'm not doing that. What's this thing? Ah, password. Okay. That's apparently the equivalent of sleeping in my bed. Way to adventure, but is the other way also the way to adventure? Yes. Okay, well, adventure. Let's adventure. Is it okay? It's probably stock images, it's wonderful. But, so it's rather peculiar. There's an article on the THQ website saying that they're gonna do various Nickelodeon things. Not sure if it's gonna be remakes or remasters or just plain re-releases, like digital re-releases maybe, of certain games. But there's also a list of the games that they are going to re-release. Kind of. It's labeled, it says the following games are going to be released or something like that. And then it proceeds to list a number of shows, not games. And there's some interesting choices too. Things like, of course, Spongebob, but then things like Wild Thornberries, Ren and Stimpy, Invader Zim, quite pleasantly, and Rocko's Modern Life. And I was thinking that's quite peculiar, but I noticed one thing that's actually in common amongst all those things. All of those appeared in Attack of the Toy Bots. So at the very least, it seems Attack of the Toy Bots is going to be getting re-released in some format at some point, which is interesting. It doesn't really mean anything to me because I've never played the game and I don't care about re-releases in almost any capacity because it's the same game, as excited as some people seem to get about those. But the comments are also quite entertaining. Some people saying they better have heavy ironing on this too. Of course, hinting at a release of Battle for Bikini Bottom, which should also be cool. But again, I don't think I'd have any business with it. I also don't have any new systems that this could possibly be released on anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference for me. Wait, you just went straight to the bubble? Like, we skipped all those rooms? Like, not even a cutscene in those rooms? Like, they're perfect minigame potential, but we're not even gonna have a cutscene for them? What? Why did it fall off its base? It's floating. It's a bubble. Oh dear. Help the bubble stop. Oh god. Okay. This is gonna be great. Press the A button if it tilts towards Spongebob's side. B if it tilts towards Patrick's side. Why couldn't I just use the D-pad for this? There's such a stronger correlation between directions and what happens in the game with the D-pad. That's why it is, in fact, that directional pad. Okay. Why though? Why not left and right? Okay, what makes it like this thing is falling? So I'm holding it? No, I'm tapping the button. I think. Tapping it really, really hard. Not hard, but very, very quickly apparently. Also, playing and covering the interface is actually that problematic because I can still see the arrow on the bottom of the screen. Okay, so this is peculiar. I kind of want to get an S rank at some point, so let's just sit this way for a moment. These sprites in this game, almost every sprite I see, yeah, almost every single image you see in this game, every sprite, every picture in the cutscenes, they're always something from the show. They always cut based off of something from the show, pretty much exactly it seems like. Yeah, see, I can still see on the bottom of the screen. There's 1 pixel. I want to see if I can do this as quickly as possible, just see if I can get an S rank on something at some point in this game. Yeah, it's interesting seeing something and recognizing it from the show, but at the same time it also feels a little lazy. I can't quite decide. This goes on for so long. Why must this be the case? Like Plankton's little laughing animation there is certainly based off of a frame from the show too, that I've seen before. But like, what? How and why are we making sure that a stationary object doesn't fall off its pedestal? Like, and how is life any different once the gauges fill on the top of the screen? Like, it's still gonna be as still as it was before. I feel like it's Spongebob and Patrick are the ones creating the issue this entire time. They're the ones creating the thread of the bubble actually falling over. Almost there. Alright, that was kind of strange. Only 8? Man, what's with this game? And look at that, more stock pictures. Why'd they put a blush on Patrick? There we go. How many pictures do you need? I actually don't recognize that picture of Patrick. Spongebob, yes. Well, wait, we're not actually at that little welcoming party yet. Very different expression on Patrick in this case. And you look very sorry. I guess they did explain how the bubble pop is like camouflage. I was about to say, are they ever curious about how they managed to pop a bubble that's in a completely sealed container? Okay. Good job. And we'll see how this progresses next episode then. We'll move then. Bye guys.